Welcome to Pine Notes. My name is Lisa and it is the week of July 4th. We are coming to you with an update for my June finished objects and ongoing works in progress. And I am so excited to announce that I not only have one but two patterns over on Ravelry. I wish to thank all of those who were interested in the Swirly Girl Granny Square. It is now up on Ravelry, and if you emailed me for the pattern, please note there is a revision 1 that you can link to through my Ravelry link. And yes, we are still continuing on with our Christmas in July, which will start up again next week after this long holiday. And this is, of course, Heartland yarn. Made a little coaster, or pillow, depending. There's so many uses for this square, but my most exciting, and I do invite you to follow me on Instagram because I post daily over there. Yep, what are these? Dragonfly square! This happened because I had a frog from a new pattern I was doing, and I sat there and looked at it and I'm like, 1, 2, 3, that's a dragonfly tail, so let me do a dragonfly square. So look for this to come as a pattern. Again, squares can be used for many things like Swirly Girl. It is easier for me as a crocheter of 2.5 years to do a small square, and then eventually I will work my way up to the dragonfly shawl and write all that out for you guys. The more you support me, the more confidence I gain, and I so appreciate each and every one of you. And just to note, this is the mandala colorway in the colored wizard. And if you haven't heard, please note that Walmart.com now offers mandala for $4.97, which is half the price of what I paid on lionbrand.com right now. And like I said, it's the first week of July. Already some colors are selling out, so head over to Walmart.com. I also see on Instagram that the stores are being stocked as well. So, we have 2 patterns listed on Ravelry. I also have 2 new designs. Let me show you the first one, and you know I'm coming off of my not so granny square kick. Look at this poncho! Isn't this... I'm sorry, it's a Bolero. Isn't this cute? I will insert pictures at the end, as I always do, so you can see the full size of this. This is 2 Hexagon granny squares. See, I mixed my words. Hexagon granny squares. Let's say that 10 times fast. Done with a fancy edge and front posting. And you know I was holding my breath sewing these together that the front post would match up, and they did. This is a cute, easy, and simple little Bolero, and I really hope to make a white crochet dress to go with this. I just think it's adorable. So easy to make and fun, and most of all fun. So just by adding texture on the very edges of your hexagon, you can create a fabulous jacket. Now, speaking of jacket, and this is the one I'm most excited about because I finished this right at the end of July, and this on my Ravelry account is called the Sand Dollar. And I can't take credit for the name. My husband named it, and that is because the center radiating out looks just like a sand dollar. And this happens to be I Love That Yarn by Hobby Lobby in the Stonewash color of Coraline. It happens to be white by Caron Simply Soft. And then if you follow me on Instagram, you would have seen I ran out of white. So Red Heart Super Saver to the rescue! And by the way, the Bolero jacket just before this was made out of, you guessed it, Red Heart Super Saver. Well, attention to detail gets you everything, but can I tell you, the downward spiral of this happened because I made a mistake and I only did one row of white and then one row of pink, and it happened to work out perfectly for the pattern. I would so do this again. Again, it is a simple square folded in half and then edged. The only difference, and attention to detail here, is I did just enough single crochet to seam the edges on each side and then sewed it together to keep the stripe pattern going in front. So a little bit of color work there, and the points match up perfect. This is gorgeous. Again, full pictures will be at the end. And I made a little cuff here, and a nice rounded collar helps keep it on the shoulders. Again, using a simple granny square pattern in a square, folding it in half and making a beautiful jacket. These are so beginner friendly. So if you need written instructions on how I did these, feel free to send me a message or private message me. And of course, I'm going to tell you, follow me on Instagram for daily updates. I'm on there every day. Now, this happens to be the Movie Night Cardigan by Two of Wands, and I am using 24/7 cotton yarn, and this colorway happens to be one of their kits for the Clement Cannon poncho. Remember how many of those I did last year? Well, 24/7 cotton, here we go. This was in hibernation for a while. I decided to pull it back out, and with that Bolero and this, keep it to 3 or 4 colors. I was going to add all sorts of different colors. Keep it simple. Kiss it. And this again will be a cardigan, and here we go. You fold it in half. You stitch the arms up here, leave a little armhole, and again, another simple, easy jacket, and the sheen on this cotton. Now you guys know I downgraded 24/7 cotton not to be on my holy grail again. The particular skeins I'm working with here, I've had no trouble, no splitting of yarn, no cutting of yarn, and gosh, remember the Sea Goddess? I had like 28 knots. Knock on wood, this is going very well, and it may be added to my list of Holy Grail yarn again. Now speaking of Holy Grail yarn, Mandala is already entered. We're at 6 months in. Mandala yarn by Lion Brand. Again, being stocked currently first week of July on Walmart.com. I cannot take credit for this color choice. I was commissioned to do a Lost Souls shawl. There are several lovely people who do tutorials already on this. And this is one pattern I cannot memorize. I need to read it line by line still. And this is one entire skein of Mandala. But look how gorgeous that is coming out. This is the perfect colorway for this particular pattern, and I couldn't be more pleased. Again, I can't take credit because the customer picked the color, but boy, I am certainly in love with that. So that's also on my hooks. And I'll leave you with a little inspiration. You guys know I tried to crochet my first, sorry about that, I hit the camera, my first crochet cable sweater. It sat for 2 years, and I've been crocheting 2.5 years, so it sat pretty much the entire time I've been crocheting. Yes, I learned the hard stitches first. Cable was the first stitch, and granny squares were the last, which was just September of 2016. To that sweater, I added 12 inches or a foot of single crochet on each end to make it a shawl, breathing new life into something I just didn't have the heart to frog. But what's new is using a copy of my maternal grandmother's 1946 original crochet book. They have patterns in there to work cross stitch over crochet. And these are my lovely color selections. I will be using 24/7 cotton yarn as my thread to cross stitch over this, particularly because I have it in stock. This is, everything you're seeing is stash busters. I want to use what I have. And I have these colors in stock, and it's going to be fun picking out colors. Now remember, this book is in black and white, so I can just imagine the lovely colors and patterns that the ladies in 1946 picked. But that is it for me today. I do wish all of you a happy and healthy summer. And as always, I'm still not on a regular schedule for uploading. Please hit that bell next to my name to be notified of the next time I am on YouTube here. Particularly if you're looking for Swirly Girl Granny Square tutorial coming up next. Thank you, everybody. I do appreciate every single one of you for watching, subscribing, and liking. Let's make it a great day and crochet. Take care.